Hello, welcome to running your first Java project in Eclipse. So in order to do that, we first have to create a Java project within Eclipse. If you haven't already done so, you can do this in a few different ways. Here, it will say create a Java project, but this only works if you haven't already created a Java project. Now, for this course, you only need the one. So if you already created one, just use that one, okay? But if you haven't, follow along. So this only pops up the one time for every new workspace. The other ways you can find how to create a Java project is come up here to this new, hit the drop down button and click on Java project here. The last way is you can come up to File, New, Java project. And they should all lead you to this panel here. And this is where you're going to name your Java project. We just want to call it CSE 110. Now don't change anything else about this and just hit finish. And then over here you can see in the package explorer, this is our Java project called CSE 110. Inside the project, you will see the JRE systems library. Leave that alone, okay? Don't click on the drop down arrow. I'm doing it now just to show you. But there are a lot of pre-made Java programs within here, and you do not want to mess with them because we're going to be using a lot of them, but we will never look at them, okay? So just leave the JRE system libraries alone. What we are going to be programming in is within the SRC folder, okay? Every Java package should have an SRC folder. If yours does not, then something corrupted your Java project and you may want to delete it or create a new one. All right, so now that we've created our Java project, now we want to create a package within the Java project CR SRC folder. Older versions of Eclipse did not require you to create a package. It created a default package, but the newer versions do require you to create a package to put your first class in. So that's what we're going to do. So File, New, and then Package. Now, first you want to make sure that you're in the correct source folder. It should be the name of the Java project. Down the line, you may have more than one Java project, so you want to make sure that you're in the correct Java project and that you're within the SRC folder of that Java project. If you have more than one, you can hit Browse and you'll be able to see all the different Java projects, but they may appear like this, and you can't just click on the Java project itself. You do have to click into it and click on the SRC folder and hit OK. Now we give it a name. I'm going to name mine Exercises and hit Finish. For our course, I recommend you having package exercises, assignments, and projects. But we're just going to stick with exercises for now. And now we're going to create our first class. And I'm just going to pull up exercise 1.1 to see what we're going to name it. We're going to name it Unit 1 underscore Hello World. The casing does matter, as well as the spacing and the symbols, okay? We're going to get more into what is appropriate and what is not, what works and what doesn't, later in the semester, probably next week. But for now, just use the names that I give you. All right, so File, New, now we're going to come down to Class. We want to make sure it's in the correct source folder, so the correct Java project within the SRC folder, and that it's in the correct package. If you have more than one package, it may not guess the correct package, so you'll just have to hit Browse and click on the correct package. Don't put in the default package. Eclipse doesn't like that anymore. And then we're going to give it a name, and we're going to name it Unit 1 underscore Hello World, exactly like this. And be careful to not put a space at the end. Spaces are illegal in naming in Java, and that will give you an error and you will not be able to hit finish. No spaces. Now we're going to leave the rest of this alone except down here under which method stub would you like to create, we are going to check the public static void main button. Yeah, and then we're going to hit finish, and our class file is going to pop up. Notice on line 1, we have package exercises. We need that, okay? It tells Eclipse where this file is located. It's located within the package exercises, yeah? And then we have public class unit 1 underscore hello world. That's the name of our class, and we are going to define that class. We're going to define it within the curly brackets, okay? These curly brackets are very important, and you need to make sure that you are coding within these curly brackets in order to define this class. If you find yourself coding outside of the curly brackets, it will give you an error. Next, we have the public static void main method. This is the box that we checked. If you do not check that box, your file will look something like this, okay? But we need the main method. The main method is what the compiler looks for in order to run this file. And without one, it's not going to know how to execute your code. So make sure you have this. And again, the main method has the open and close curly brackets. Nice thing about Eclipse, if you highlight a curly bracket, it will show you the curly bracket that closes it. Sometimes you might accidentally have extra curly brackets, and then in order to know which ones to delete, you can hover over the open ones and see which ones close it, and then you can get rid of the extra. Now this here is a comment, and it is automatically generated and not needed, so I like to delete it. You can keep it, doesn't matter, it's not going to affect your code. All right. Now, we are going to print out the words hello world in a print statement. I'm just going to copy and paste this. This is the system.out.print. Okay, this is the method that we're going to use to print the string to the console. Now remember, Java is case sensitive, so that this system does start with a capital S. Out and print are all lowercase, and you do not want to have spaces between one word and the other, okay? Make sure you have the open parenthesis, the closed parenthesis, and the semicolon at the end. Now, this hello world, this is a string. Anything within double quotes is a string, yeah? And anything inside the string is going to print exactly as is, with the exception of escape sequences, which we're going to learn later in this module. Now notice I put these spaces. Those spaces are fine. They're not going to change the code in any way. I could put spaces here, here, after the parenthesis, but before the semicolon. I can't put spaces like between a word and expect Java to know that that is supposed to be one word. Yeah. So there are times where spacing matters, and there's time when the compiler will basically ignore it. Now, we'll get more into this later, but a nice little tip, if you get your tabs out of whack, you can do this little shortcut on the keyboard. You can say Control A to highlight everything, and then Control I, and that will re-indent all of your lines appropriately. It's not a failsafe, but it is very nice and useful. Okay, so now I have this print statement, hello world. That means if I come up to the run button, which is under navigate, then I will be asked to save this, and yes, you should save this. Hit OK, and it will print hello world to the console, exactly as is. Spaces and everything. So if I put a space after the first double quote, if I put however many spaces, those spaces are going to print, okay? anything within the uh, the double quotes will print. So if I put more than one space between the comma and world, those spaces will print to the console. Even if I can't see the spaces, but I put them in my string, they're still there. So if I put a few spaces after the semicolon, not semicolon, the exclamation mark, those will also print to the console. I just can't see that unless I highlight because they're just spaces, right? They're empty, but they are still there. They still exist. All right, there you go. That's how you run your first Java project. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and good luck.